Hello students, welcome to physics class. In first PUC physics, we are discussing about the second chapter, that is units and measurement. Measurement will comes in our day-to-day life. For example, we measure time using a clock. We measure temperature using a thermometer. Or we will measure distance using meter scales, etc. And this measurement is required units, and every physical quantity has its own unit, and we have a system of units. Sometimes we measure the distance in millimeter, sometimes we measure the distance in centimeter, sometimes we measure the distance in kilometers. And which are the cases that we use which appropriate units, and also how to measure a physical quantity. These are the things we are going to study in this chapter. What is physical quantity? Any quantity it can be measurables and given in terms of numerical numbers with the units is called physical quantity. For example, I will measure the length of the room is 10 meters. That 10 is called magnitude and meter is a unit I use to measure that distance. Similarly, I measure the time is 50 seconds, where 50 is represent a magnitudes and second is gives what is a unit I used. I can measure time in hours, I can measure time in minute, etc. Like that, when you see these measured quantities, it involves magnitude and units. Let us see what are the different type of physical quantities. In physical quantity, we have two types, scalars and vectors. Physical quantities ಎರಡು ಇದೆ, scalars and vectors. What is maybe scalars means? A physical quantities which having only magnitudes, no directions are called scalars. For example, I will measure the length of object. This is scalar quantity. Suppose I will measure this length of object in this way, or I will measure this length of object in this way. It is say low thing. It is independent of direction. Adu direction depend agilla. Adake magnitude mark. For example, I will measure this length with a centimeter scale. It is not change if it is changes its directions. Such a physical quantities are called scalars. Example, time. And these scalars are always positive. Current. Current also. Suppose you measure a current in a wire, even the wire is changes its directions in different way, but magnitude of current will be remain same. Such a physical quantities are called scalar. On the other hand, we have another type of physical quantities that are called vectors. The physical quantities having both magnitude and directions are called vectors. For example, force. When I say force, there are two represent which direction force is acting. Why? Because it is depend upon directions. Suppose this direction is changed, the effect of force is changed. For example, force is applied on this particular object in this way, of force is acting in these directions, or force is acting in these directions. It is different effects we can observe.
What is measurement? Measurement ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? It is a comparison of a physical quantity with a standard quantity. Here scale is a standard quantity. ಈಗ ಈ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ನ ಲೆಂತನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ I'll keep these objects and along this scale, as it's measured, is a 6 centimeters. Means the length of this object is 6 centimeter. Breadth of this object is measures, it is a 2.5 centimeter.
Physical quantities are further classified into two classes as a fundamental physical quantities and derived quantities. What is the fundamental physical quantities? ಮೂಲಭೂತವಾದ physical quantities ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ the physical quantities which are defined independently. Physical quantities which are defined independently are called fundamental physical quantity. For example, length, mass, time, etc. And physical quantities which are derived from fundamental quantities. ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಂಥ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸನ್ನು ಡಿರೈವ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆರ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೈಮ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಅದರ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಡಿಫೈನ್. therefore velocity is a derived physical quantities. Same way there is density. Density means it is the mass divided by volume. ಇದು mass ಮತ್ತೆ volume again 3 times of length. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇದರ defined by fundamental physical quantities as mass and length. Therefore density is a derived physical quantity.
Finally, let us see
what is unit. Unit is a standard quantity which is chosen to measure a physical quantities. On the physical quantities ಅನ್ನು measure ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ we need a standard quantity, and using that standard quantity, how much times that standard quantity involves in doing a measurement, and that is called its units. ಒಂದು physical quantities ಅನ್ನು measure ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, for example, I say the length of this room is 10 meter. That 10 is represent the magnitude and meter is a unit. Illi meter is a unit. Units is a standard quantity I chosen to measure a physical quantity, and length of the room is involves 10 times of that meter. In that way they say it is 10 meters. Or I will measure this time is 10 seconds. I will measure the mass of object is 5 kg. When I say mass of this object is 5 kg, mass nalli 5 times of kg is there. Okay? 5 times of its standard quantities involves in that particular physical quantities. On the basis physical quantities are measure ಮಾಡುವಾಗ we need a standard quantity of its own kind to measure the physical quantity. That standard quantity which is chosen to measure a physical quantity is called its units. Also, for every physical quantity has its own units. Let us see what is fundamental units or base units. Units of fundamental physical quantities are called fundamental units. Fundamental or base physical quantities na units ಗಳನ್ನು fundamental units or base units ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ units of derived physical quantities are called derived units. Derived physical quantities ಏನಿದೆ, for example velocity ಇರ್ಬೋದು, acceleration ಇರ್ಬೋದು, density ಇರ್ಬೋದು, and units of that physical quantities are called derived units. For example Newton, that is a unit of force, it is a derived unit. Joule, unit of work, it is a derived unit. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ work, force, they are derived physical quantities. Or unit of length, meter, is a fundamental units, because length is a fundamental physical quantity and its units are called fundamental units. It's clear that units of fundamental quantities are called fundamental units. Units of derived quantities are called derived units. The units, we are using different type of units in our day-to-day life. For example, when you purchase a gold chain, it is measured in grams, milligrams. Or when you measure this distance between two cities, we are using kilometers. When you purchase a cloth, we are using meters. When you measure a thickness of paper, we are using millimeters. When you measure the time, we are using seconds, hours, days, etc. Like that, different type of units we are using. Let us see what is a system of units. We have a 3 commonly used system of units, that is CES system, FES system and MTS system. In CES system, we measure the length in centimeter, mass in grams and time in seconds. In FES system, we measure length in foot, mass in pound, time in second. In MTS system, we measure length in meter, mass in kilogram, and time in seconds. These are the three commonly used system of units in earlier, but now we have another system of units. It is internationally accepted as an international system of units, that is SI units. In lower class, we already studied about SI units. SI unit ಅಂದರೆ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಫಾಲೋ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ 7 ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಈ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕಲಿತಂಥ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ unit of mass, unit of time. But as the science develop again, we have other fundamental quantities also comes. For example, current, temperature, amount of substance, etc. For that, in SI system, they are given fundamental units. So, in SI system, we have 7 fundamental units, and these fundamental units has standard symbol also, and that is given in this particular table. As I told, in SI system there are 7 fundamental quantities and its units is given in this table. First one, length, it is measured in meter, symbol is m. Second one, mass, measured in kilogram and symbol is kg. Third one, time, SI unit is seconds, symbol is small s. Fourth one, electric current, unit is ampere, symbol is capital A. Fifth one, temperature, SI unit is Kelvin, symbol is K. Sixth one, amount of substance, SI unit is mole, symbol is MOL. And last one, seventh one, luminous intensity, ಇದು ಲೈಟ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂಥದ್ದು, and unit is candela, symbol is CD. And these are the 7 fundamental units is oftenly asking in exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ what is SI unit or write 7 fundamental units in SI system ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ there will be 2 supplementary units also there in SI unit system. These are 2 supplementary units, that is radian and radian. To measure a plane angle, we have a radian or rad symbol, and to measure a solid angle, 3-dimensional angle, we have a unit steradian, symbol is SR. This system we are also using some prefixes, that is called SI prefixes. ಈ prefixes ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ, sometime when you are measuring a small distances or small quantities, we are using word micro, micrometer, millimeter, nanometer, or sometime we are using for a large magnitudes kilogram, gigabyte, megawatt, kilowatt, etc. And these are these prefixes we are using in front of this unit. And what are the prefixes we are using in SI system? It is given in a table, and also what is its value is given in a first column. For example, is 10 to power 18. 10 to power 18 means after 1 there will be 18 zeros are there. That is a big number. Adannu simple agi hexo anta hexa anta e letter we can represent it. That hexa represent 10 to power 18. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ 10 to power 15 ಆದರೆ ಪೀಟಾ, 10 to power 12 ಆದರೆ ಟೆರಾವನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಟೆರಾಬೈಟ್. ಇನ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಟೆರಾಬೈಟ್. ಟೆರಾ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 10 to power 12. 10 to power 9 means giga. 10 to power 6 means mega. 10 to power 6 means after 1 there will be 6 zeros. That is the value. That is mega. And symbol is m. And 10 to power 3 means kilo, symbol is k. 10 to power 2 means hecto. 10 to power 1 means deca. And these are the
for a large numbers of large magnitudes we are using these prefixes. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಫ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಫ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 10 to power minus 1 or 1, it is equivalent to 1 divided by 10, and that is deca. 1 by 100 or 10 to power minus 2 is called centimeter. Centigram we are using as a 10 to power minus 3 milli, 10 to power minus 6 micro, and 10 to power minus 9 nano, 10 to power minus 12 pico, 10 to power minus 15 femto, 10 to power minus 18 atto. And these are the SI prefixes we are using, and you have to know about these prefixes and its values. ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎನಿ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟು normal numbers if it is used prefixes. So for example, I have 5 centimeter means I can write as a 5 into 10 to power minus 2 meter, or 3 millimeter means 3 into 10 to power minus 3 meters. ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, and that knowledge you should have.